Welcome guys, hope you are doing well. In this video we are going to learn about the most interesting part of the application, the entire messaging module. So basically in this video we will be covering upon sending text message, receiving text message, and also replying on text message. So stay tuned. Let's get started. So basically this is the screen that is showing to you guys on the right side, and this is the code of the screen. Basically nothing difficult, it's just UI code. So first of all, I have created a stateful widget that accepts 4 parameters: an image, name, group ID, and FCM token. FCM token will be used later when you are wrapping the course. This is especially for the notifications. And name and image are the user name and image, right? And group id is something called a chat room id. Suppose if there are 10 user and I'm chatting to the 10 user, so I have some specific chat room id associated with every user, right? So how we basically calculate this group id, let me show it to you. So first of all, if I go back and I click on this, so on top of this tile I have calculated the group id. Okay, you guys can see this is the on top of this tile. When I click, first of all I have created a chat room id variable, and here I am checking my uid has hash code. So every string has its hash code. If my uid hash code is greater than the user that I'm going to chat, then create a chat room id like this. First of all my uid, then hyphen, then the receiver id. Else if my uid hash code is smaller than the user, then create chat room id like this. So this is very simple. When I click on this, this has been called group id. Chat room id is used, name and image has been passed. So now let's click on it, and also let's move to this class. I'm going to close all other classes. Close other, yeah. So first of all we will be working on text, as I have told. There are a bunch of code over here because these are belongs to the UI part. So this part especially is the, if I wrap it, this part belong to this section, and the expanded is basically belonging to the whole view that is going up and down, right? And app bar is there. If you guys can see, I have a list view with the children. If I send message, then I will be using image send widget. If I send text, then text message I sent, this widget will be used. Corresponding image received, text message I received, sent reply text to text. So basically this is a suppose if the user send me this message hello, and I drag it to the right side, so basically this message will be, this widget will be calling that I am going to reply, and received reply text to text. So these are a few widgets that I have created. Alright, so now let's get started. Basically on the bottom section, if I type anything over here and click on this send button, so basically what need to be done, I have to create a chat collection in the Firestore and store this information in the Firestore, right? So now let's first of all create a method, the same method in the data controller. Okay, or here here I'm going to create a method send message to Firebase. This will take few parameters. First of all, it will take data, map, string, comma dynamic data, and the second thing that it takes is I will say the last message, string last message. Okay, and the third thing is the group id. Okay, so basically these three things is required for now. Let's make it like this. Here I'm going to call Firebase Firestore dot collection. So for the chat, I'm creating a separate collection called chats, and then I'm creating a document with a group ID, and then again inside that document I'm creating another collection called chat room. Okay, and then dot add, I'm adding the data that I have received, right? Dot then. So once it's successfully saved to the database, then I'm going to call okay, and then I will wait for it, async. Okay, once the operation is successfully performed, then again I will call Firebase Firestore.instance collection. I will go to the same document again, and inside that document, that is basically my chat room, and I will set some information over here. Set option, set merge true, right? The information is okay. The information that I will set over here is basically the okay, sorry, it should be a document ID and group ID. Okay, and here I have to save some information. The first information that I'm going to save is last message. Last message is used upon this screen in this blank area. Suppose the last message that I have did with this guy will be showing upon here, right? Okay, the next thing is group ID itself. Nothing, it's not necessary, but for further operations we may need this. And also the group itself. Group means how which user belong to this group. So basically the UID of the two users who basically belongs to that group, and we can get it by group ID group. Okay, sorry, I have did spelling mistake over here. Split upon hyphen, because if you guys remember, I have created group ID, and that is basically a combination of two user ID with a hyphen in between, right? So that was so this will give us the list, and this list will be stored into the group itself, right? So this is the method for sending message to Firebase. We will be using this message throughout, and this is very generic method. And one more thing is we have to create here a variable is message sending, and initially we'll make it false, right? So whenever we call this message and it is taking time, some time to send information, because like if I upload image, so uploading image take time. So in the meantime, so we should show only progress indicator is message sending, and we will assign this true. When the message has been sent successfully, we will await it here again, then we will call is message sending to false. Alright, hopefully you guys got this point. Now let's see again. Okay, let's do some work on upon clicking of this. First of all, we have to check either we have assigned controller to this text field or not. So I have text editing controller, message controller, and yeah, it is assigned over here. If I click on this button, so all the information written on the text field need to be sent to the Firebase, and also when it is been sent successfully, then we have to reset it. Okay, now resend. So this is the button, black send icon. Here I have to call string message message controller dot text, right? And then we have to call message controller dot clear, so it get cleared. After this we have to call data controller dot send message to Firebase. As this function takes few parameters like data, last message, and group IDs, as you guys can see over here. So before doing this, we have to check. We have to apply one check if message controller dot text dot is empty. If the text field is empty, then we just have to return. Right after this, we have to create map of string comma dynamic with the name of data. Here I'm mentioning the type of message, what kind of message I'm going to send. So it's kind of text message, so the type is I send text. This is the type. You guys can use your own type, but usually I do this kind of type. The next parameter is message itself. Okay, we have to call this above, and the next is a timestamp, date time dot now, and the last thing is basically the UID who is sending the message. So in this case I'm using my UID, right? Now let's send this information. Data, I will pass the data. For group ID, I'm going to pass group ID, and another thing is the third one is last message. For the last message, I'm going to share a message. Now let's send some information or some message to the Firebase. I'm going to reload, Control S, and clear the console. Okay, and now I'm sending a message to the GK. Hi GK. If I click on this, so yeah, text field has been cleared and information has been sent to the database. Let's figure it out. I have to reload this. Okay, it's reloading. So yeah, basically over here, oh sorry, I have did some typing mistake. Let me delete both of them because something has been created 2 times. This should not be 2, it should be only 1 chat collection. Let me show you the mistake where I have made the mistake. It's over here. It should be chats instead of chat. Let me send another message. Hi GK. Click on send. Let's see again. Okay. So yeah, that time I have only 1 collection, and this is basically containing 1 document and 1 collection. So this document is basically containing information that basically this is a chat room, right? So this information shows that for these 2 users the chat room has been created and their chat room ID or group ID is this, and the last communication between these 2 guys is this, right? If we goes inside the chat room, we just have to call this chat room, and inside this chat room we have multiple documents. So each document is basically presenting a message. In this case, you guys can see the type is I sent text. Who sent text? This UID sent text message, right? And message is hi GK, okay, with the timestamp. So now let's get the same information over the application. So in the UI I have some boilerplate code. I'm going to remove them all. Where it is? Okay, first of all collapse this. Okay, this is the main thing that I have to work on. Going to remove this all, and over here I'm going to do one check. Data controller dot is message sending. If it's true, dot value. If it's true, this means that we are sending some message. Then in the meantime, show in the center circular progress indicator. All right. Otherwise, just show stream builder with the context and snapshot. Right. Okay. So what should be the stream? Stream is very simple. We have to listen to the internal chat room collection. So it's inside Firebase Firestore instance collection. The collection is chats, and basically the room or the group ID is group widget group ID, and inside this group we have another collection called chat room. Let me confirm it first. Yes, chat room. So we have to copy from here and paste it, and then to this collection we have to listen, and for listening there is a handy method called snapshot, right? Okay, so upon here we have to do another check. If snapshot dot has data, so this means if snapshot has data, but I'm going to negate it and change the meaning, that if snapshot does not have data, then we have to just return center with a child circular progress indicator. So this means that data has been loading by stream builder. When it's loaded, we just have to parse this data to the list, document snapshot and data, and we have to call snapshot dot data dot snapshot dot data. Also we have to mention the type over here. It's query snapshot, so it's required. Otherwise you guys will not get the IntelliSense dot docs. Okay, and then we have to make it reversed, so it should show on the reverse process, and then we have to call dot to list. So this is what we have to do, and the next thing we have to do is we have to return a list view dot builder, right? Okay, so this list view builder is returning a builder. Basically this is a context and index, right? We have to pass the item count, so the item count is inside the data list that we got now, and the main important thing goes here. So first of all we have to return empty container just to avoid the error. Okay, so all conditions goes over here. First of all I'm going to check that particular message is either from my side or from the sender or the receiver side, right? So how I can check this? It's very simple. First of all I'm going to get the UID that belong to that message. String message user ID, and it's inside data of index dot get. Okay, and what to get the UID. Let me show you. Suppose this is the data and I have the UID over here. Alright, so then I have to apply a check. If this message user ID is equal to my UID, right, then only show those widgets that belongs to me, else we have to do stuff for the user. Okay, first of all we have to create here a widget variable widget, and going to call message widget. Initially it will be containing a container, and we will be returning this container over here, message widget, right? Okay, so now we know that if the message user id is equal to mine, so this means that I have sent the message. After this we have to another thing is we have to check for the type as well. String message type data of index dot get type, so this will tell us the type. So over here we have to again apply switch, okay, upon message type, where here I have to create a few cases. Like the first case, I sent text, right? For this I have already widget for this message widget I sent. Okay, here I have widget I sent, okay, something like this, sent. Let me figure it out the name. Okay, message text, the widget name is message text. Okay, text message I sent. So this is the widget that I will be using, right? Okay, let me show you. If I press Ctrl and S, so it will rebuild, and yeah guys, you can see it is showing the message widget, because first of all we have applied check upon the sender of the message, and it is recognized as myself, and inside myself I have a type of message called I send text. For this particular message I have this widget text message I send. So this is basically returning the text that is hard coded in the widget. But now let me send this widget a document snapshot. So the information will be then coming from the Firebase itself, data of index. So now let's parse the original message. So yeah guys, you can see the original message has been displayed over here. And one more thing we have to do is as you guys can see, I have reversed this list. So also we have to call reverse upon list view as well, reverse as true, right? So it is showing upon the bottom. And now let me send another message, hi there, and yeah, it is showing upon the top. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. In the upcoming video we'll be working upon the next stages. Thank you so much for watching the video.